Hey y'all, oh my gosh, this has been a long time coming. If you're new here, Kate Aurora, IFBB Bikini Pro, wife, mother of two, professional business development manager for a technology company, and still finding time to compete as a professional bodybuilder in the IFBB. So yeah, it has been way too long since I've done a video, and for that I apologize. But I've been really busy, and there are some things I will, you'll kind of see when I talk about things, like you'll kind of understand maybe why. There are a couple other reasons why I have been really MIA and so on social media and YouTube. I'm not really gonna dive into everything completely yet, just because I'm not ready to, but I promise I will. So stay tuned, and I will keep you posted, but there's some good things in the hopper that I'm very excited about. Anyway, I made a little list of some things that I want to talk about. So we are going to go over Hurricane Pro, which happened back on October 23rd, I want to say. I'll have to double check that date. But that was like 5 or 6 weeks ago at this point. So I'm very well into my reverse at this point. Thanksgiving has already passed. As you can see, I've got the Christmas tree up as of today. It is December 3rd, 2023. So it's been quite a while since I have posted or done anything regarding competing. But I'm gonna go over Hurricane Pro, just the show in general, feedback that I got, give you an update on my reverse, how things have been going with that, and then just some overall, like what I've been doing in the gym, how I've been training, that kind of thing. So Hurricane Pro, my best look ever. My physique, it was the most conditioned I've ever been. It was the tightest I've ever been. I was so excited. I did not compete in Masters. I only did Open. So I competed in Open. There were 27 competitors, including Olympians. And some of them were my teammates. 2 of the Olympians were my teammates. And there was a lot of Team Pro Physique girls competing in that show. So another great thing was I got to meet some more teammates and make some new friends, and some people that I am just tickled to have gotten to know and now have good friendships with. So excited about that. But it was my best look ever. Posing was on point. Thank you. Huge shout out to Ashley Janelle for helping me with that and really improving my stage presence and showcasing my physique the best way possible. I will go ahead and drop in just a quick video here of my posing. I was super happy with it. I was super happy with just the overall look. I think that as far as feedback goes, I stood in line and talked to Bill Stevia, who is the head judge for that show, and feedback was more density in the glutes, so just fuller, more muscular glutes, which I don't disagree. But out of 27 athletes, I placed 13th. I was very excited about that. I left the stage very confident. Actually, I was almost in tears. I was so happy to have gone from where I was at Clash in August to what I was at Hurricane. I mean, I did 4 pro shows, and each show I got better and better and better. And I had to grind. Paul had to grind me, and we did it. Like we went through the ringer and pulled off an amazing look, amazing physique. I was very pleased with it. And now it's just kind of go back to the drawing board. I don't want to share my show plans. I mean, I kind of know I do plan on competing in 2024 as long as my body is okay with it. But I don't want to say the show dates because that just kind of sets it in stone. And some people may think that that's kind of a chicken shit way to do things. But in a way, for me, I just want to make sure that when I step on stage, I'm ready. Because I want to be ready. I want to get on the stage and be completely undeniable. And I think I have faith in myself that I can do it. I know I can do it. So we're gonna take that feedback. We're going to improve this physique, and I've already kind of taken measures to move in that direction. So yay. So my reverse update. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a little physique update of where I am at. This is what, 5-6 weeks post-show. I'll give you the exact number in the captions here. So, but I am super pleased with how I've been reversing up. I'm only 5 pounds up from my stage weight. So, and honestly, like the conditioning that I'm holding on to, I still have veins like in my inner thighs, which like, what? I've never had those before. But I mean, 5 pounds up, and that includes a major holiday. So I had Thanksgiving, you know, somewhere, you know, 4 weeks after, or 3 or 4 weeks after the show. I'm like, okay, here comes Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. And of course now we're in the Christmas season. So holidays are in full swing and lots of temptations. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Rudolph's Mix. I'm looking at you. I have maintained composure though by not digging into that stuff because I swear it's laced with crack or something. But what I've been doing is the key thing for my reverse, or just any reverse in general, it's to continue eating the same foods but more volume of them. Probably at least those first 3 weeks post show. You know, if you took out artificial sweeteners, which I know I took out artificial sweeteners, I going into getting as close to my shows as I did, I had eliminated them pretty much since like, I want to say like late July, I was eliminating all artificial sweeteners. So the last thing I wanted to do was throw them back in. Yeah, don't do it. The only thing that I kind of kept in was like liquid stevia, which I would add into like my coffee. But that's it. My coffee and my oatmeal, but that was it. Or cream of rice, excuse me. So if you do that kind of thing, especially if you eliminate dairy, do not just start putting dairy back in. Do not. Like, gradually add it in here and there. Maybe like one meal after 3 weeks post-show. Okay, now I'm gonna have maybe some yogurt and track it. And then just kind of see how your body reacts to it. If you have no adverse reactions, like, okay, I can add a little bit more. Same thing with this artificial sweeteners. Like, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks before I started drinking my BCAAs again, my drink that I have when I go to lift. So I waited a little bit before I added that back in. And I think that it was probably the smart choice, because that'll also like cause digestive issues if you just add it in full, you know, completely. So take your time adding things back in and playing with the variety of your diet. Because if you start trying to do too much too soon, your body will hate you for it. So I ate a lot of chicken breast going into the show. So I stuck with my chicken breast for a while, and then I was like, okay, once my fats got up a bit higher, then I started going back to my chicken thighs and ground beef, or just beef in general, steak, because I hadn't really had those in my diet previously. So then I just started, as I took some time back and as things started to gradually increase, and I was able to play a little bit more with my food. So probably going into the show, I was probably about, I don't know, about 1,100 calories. Right now I'm at about 1,800, and hopefully gonna go up at my next check-in. Fingers crossed. But my calories are gradually going up. The scale is maintaining. Thanksgiving, did I enjoy myself? Absolutely. I did not go ham, but what I did is I really prioritized protein throughout the day. And I would recommend doing the same thing. Obviously, it's a little too late for me to recommend what you should do during Thanksgiving, but at least for Christmas, Christmas dinners and stuff like that, don't starve yourself, because if you starve yourself, it actually has a completely opposite reaction. So I would just eat some more protein in the morning and the afternoon before you have dinner or whatever. And then just when it comes to the foods, the sugary foods, the carbs, the fats, all that stuff, just go ahead and have a sampling of it. Have what you want to eat. But when you feel full, walk away. Don't try to force yourself to eat, none of that. Another tip, and this was something that I asked Paul about before Thanksgiving, because I told him, I was like, look, I'm really nervous. I'm very vested in this reverse and making sure that my body is in the best possible state whenever we do start prep. What do you recommend? And that was basically what he recommended, was kind of like doing the protein thing, but then keeping up my steps, keeping up my movement. So I did work out in the morning. I was actually visiting family in Florida, which was amazing. It was so much fun. I went to my uncle's house down in Sarasota. I'm very lucky. He had a really, really nice gym. But I would work out every morning. I would do cardio on the machines. I would kind of jump around to different machines. He had a stepper, he had an elliptical, and he had a treadmill. So I might just I was kind of like move it up or move it around and change it up. And then I would go for walks outside, especially on Thanksgiving Day. Like, I just made sure I was active, that I walked outside and got some steps in. My husband and I went for a walk on Thanksgiving afternoon after our little light lunch that we had prior to Thanksgiving dinner. We walked for about an hour around the golf course and just kind of talked, which was nice. And then after we ate Thanksgiving dinner, and then we went out and walked for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes around the neighborhood before having dessert, just to kind of digest and let things move a little bit. And then I had dessert. And I had wine, and I had Bailey's in my decaf coffee, and it was a lot of fun. And then the next day I went right back to it. I went right back on my plan, well, not my plan, but just like being mindful of what I was eating. And I still tracked everything and stuck to my macros, and I didn't really eat a whole lot of leftovers. Luckily I was visiting, so I didn't have to worry about the leftovers. It's not like it's in my house, it's in their house. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise. And then when I got home, it was, again, just stayed right back on track. And then when I weighed in on that Monday, I don't think I put on any weight. That Monday, or my check-in with Paul, the Monday after Thanksgiving, I was kind of back to just kind of normal and looking full, looking good, again, you could still see my tie-ins. So Paul, he was like, I want to give it one more week before I increase your food, because it's just come back from the holidays or come back from Thanksgiving. So we kind of wanted to, be mindful of that. And so, like I said, tomorrow it might be a new story as far as what we do. So right now it is in the throes of Christmas, and there's temptations everywhere. So what I would recommend to y'all is, Instagram is kind of how do I put it? Oh my gosh, my legs. Oh, I'm kneeling and I'm not used to kneeling. I need a stool. Instagram can be a black hole of nothingness sometimes, and it can be a complete time waster, but there's also lots of really great ideas. And I actually found a couple of recipes that I've just kind of been testing out. Like, I actually did a couple things. Like, I have a sweet tooth so bad. Like, I want something sweet. And, Rudolph's Mix from Target, if you know, the stuff is amazing, and it's hard, and it's loaded. I mean, loaded with stuff. Now you can measure it out and all of that, but a serving, when you see an actual serving based on the macros, it's depressing. It's really depressing. So we haven't bought any. Actually, my daughter just bought the first jar. I haven't touched it. I've been a good girl. But it's one of those things. It's just like, when you have it around, it's hard to avoid it. So, one thing is, if you can avoid those types of things, I would. But looking at Instagram, and I'm not saying this in general. Like, if you already are if your calories are already high, you can track it. You could do 2 servings, whatever. Go for it. I'm talking about those of y'all who have just finished a prep, who are in a reverse like me. Your body's sensitive, and if you overdo it in the holidays, you're gonna regret it. So I'll give some other tips as far as what you can do for those that are more of lifestyle. Time out. I'm gonna go try to buy a stool. Hold on. Okay, so much better. All right, so anyway, so what I've done for an Instagram, I have been looking through, just kind of scrolling through, and luckily you'll get a lot of stuff that gives you like really great ideas, but it's like all loaded with like bad stuff, or not bad stuff. I don't want to say there's anything bad with food. Stuff that is not as healthy. Especially again, for those of us who are trying to monitor what we're eating. Anyway, I made some brownies today. I'll share the recipe below, but they're like peppermint chocolate. They're like peppermint brownies, and they're so good. They're not overly sweet, but it curbs my sweet tooth. I made them with pumpkin, so they're completely gluten-free. They're not dairy-free, so if you're looking for dairy-free, they're not dairy-free because I use yogurt, Greek yogurt, and cream cheese. But they're super good, and they're like less than 250 calories per brownie. And for me, like, I was super happy. I was like, oh, this is delicious. They're fudgy because they're made with pumpkin. It was really, really good. So finding like things like that have been very helpful to me. Finding or just modifying certain recipes and just enjoying foods, but making it within what I know my body reacts well to, has been really, really helpful to me. So that's something that I would definitely recommend that you do. Now, if you are a lifestyle person trying to get through the holidays and navigate those and trying to see, because I was watching a video by Lane Norton not long ago. It was like 2 days ago. He just posted it about how I think that there's people saying, oh, it's the holidays that cause the most weight gain. And it makes sense, because like there are people that they go off the rails, or like, oh, well, I'm just not even gonna bother watching what I eat during the holidays, and it's just a free for all. So even if they're trying to lose weight, they get to certain people get to the holidays, and then they just eat whatever the heck they want, and now they're behind. Does that make sense? So like, let's say I was on a journey, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds and I've lost maybe 10 pounds. Then Thanksgiving hits and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and enjoy Thanksgiving. And I enjoy Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, the 2 days after Thanksgiving, 3 days after Thanksgiving. Because let's be honest here, Thanksgiving leftovers last about 5 days. Yeah, they do. The mac and cheese, the dressing, the sweet potato casserole, the turkey itself, like it lasts you for days, right? And so then you basically have an entire week of eating those foods, the pumpkin pie, the pecan pie, all that stuff, which is great. It's all yummy foods, but then the problem is that you probably put on that 10 pounds and then some, which probably is a lot of water weight. And then it's like, well, now it's Christmas time, so I want to enjoy Christmas because we've got holiday parties and hangouts and Christmas Eve dinner and Christmas Day dinner and the New Year's Eve dinner and New Year's Day dinner and all this stuff. And so you basically spend the entire month reversing everything that you've already done, and now you've lost, out of the 20 pounds that you were trying to lose, you lost 10, and now you're, what, maybe 20 pounds up further now than you were when you started. And then you're like, well, crap, New Year's Eve, I need to lose weight. You're behind now. So my suggestion to those of you that are trying to be mindful, continue to be mindful, but be selective of what you enjoy. So I'm not saying that you say no to everything, but maybe you just look and say, okay, these are the days that I've got activities that I want to be involved in. So, or meals that I want to enjoy. Go ahead and plan it out. But similar to like Thanksgiving, how I did Thanksgiving, make sure that you're still eating during the day. You're eating a good amount of protein. You're getting your movement in. That's huge. That is super important. Getting your movement in and stopping when you're full. Do not eat to the point that you're stuffed. When you do that, your body doesn't like it. Like it just doesn't. It's not good for you. So just eat to satiety and then walk away, and then you're totally fine. Also, alcohol contains a lot of calories, whether you think so or not. Alcohol, as far as the macronutrients, it's kind of its own little macronutrient because you have your carbs, fats, and protein. Carbs are 4 grams of 4 calories per gram. Protein is 4 calories per gram. Fat is 9 calories per gram. Alcohol is 7 calories per gram. So if anything, maybe take out from your carbs and fats for alcohol, or strictly carbs or something like that. I usually take them out of carbs for the most part. I try to leave my fats in as much as possible. But really be mindful of what you're taking in, and don't just think that, oh, well, this glass of wine or this vodka martini, well, it's not that bad. It's, you know, but it adds up. So just be careful and be mindful of what your intake is, even from an alcohol standpoint. And I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine, but just kind of pick and choose what you want to enjoy. Like we are hosting our annual Christmas party that we do every year for our friends. And that is coming up in a couple of weeks. And I want to enjoy myself then. But I also have a dinner with my husband's work earlier that week. So what I'll probably do is the work dinner, I'll probably be somewhat mindful. I'm probably gonna just have like a nice steak and some veggies, and then just kind of pick at some other food. But again, during the day, making sure that I am eating clean for the most part and kind of going a little lower on my fats and carbs, so then I could have a little bit more in the evening. And then I want to enjoy myself at the party. And then come Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, you know, I'll probably again be very mindful as far as what I'm eating, and just kind of treating and keep my movement on. Is getting as much walking in as possible, getting steps in, getting movement in, because that helps with digestion. It's not going to make it perfect by any means, but I think that people just freak out about the holidays. Either they get too nervous and then they don't enjoy themselves, which is sad, or they just say, well, you know what, I'll start at the new year. It's never a good idea just to wait. You know, you can start at any time. You can always start at any time watching what you eat, or not watching what you eat, but just being mindful of what you eat. But don't stuff your face full. Like, that's probably my biggest suggestion. And kind of pick and choose. You don't want to sit there, especially if you don't like something. You take a bite of something and it doesn't taste good, don't finish eating it. Like, that's a waste of calories. That's like sad. Like, I'm not going to waste my calories on something that is not delicious. So what I've been doing at the gym, a couple updates there. I just recently hired an in-person trainer that I'm working with once a week. As you know, I used to train with my really good friend Daniel, who passed away during Memorial Day weekend earlier this year. I missed having that I miss Daniel particularly because he's just a really good friend of mine. But I almost felt like I was cheating on him by hiring somebody else, but at the same time, I know that he would want it for me. So I hired a new trainer. His name is Elvis, and I've been working with him once a week, and I've definitely been noticing some differences in the development of my glutes. It's only been about a month, but I see him every week, and he's good. He's been doing some great things for me, so I'm really excited about that. I still only train weightlifting wise 5 days a week. 3 days are dedicated to lower body, mostly glutes and hamstrings. One of those days I will train quads, but even then I'm not focusing on quads. It's more like either I will do some extensions and maybe some squats or leg presses where the quads get some attention then. The other 2 days are dedicated to shoulders, and then back. In my back, I combine back and arms, and I also been doing my deadlifts on back day. So my conventional deadlifts I've been doing on back day, just because I think they mesh well because it's a good pull day. And then 3 days a week, usually on my cardio only day, I only get one cardio only day. On my cardio only day, I do abs, and I have been training my core, which I didn't really do previously, but Jennifer Dory, who is the new Olympian or the new Miss Olympia, congrats to her. She talked about how she was training her abs like 3 times a week. I'm like, what the heck? Why not? You know, I never really got any feedback that my core was bad, but you know what? It can't hurt. So I have been doing more core training than in the past, and nothing weighted. It's all body weight. So anything on the Bosu ball, leg raises, decline sit-ups, decline reverse crunches, and ab wheels are kind of like my main go-tos that I've been doing. And I usually don't spend much more than like 10 to 15 minutes of abs 3 days a week. So my cardio is at 35 minutes, 6 days a week. It's really not that bad at all. I usually split that up. I will do a warm up on the elliptical for about 15 minutes before my lift. And then I will end my lift with 20 minutes on the steps, doing like kind of a little bit of an interval type of cardio. And this isn't something that Paul has prescribed me. It's just something that I just have been enjoying. And again, it's working for me. So I'm going to continue doing it. But yeah, the gym has been great. My lifts have been getting heavier. I downloaded an app so I can track it because I was like, you know, I need to see where I'm at. I need to see these, you know, see how my weight is progressing and make sure that I am progressively overloading and building up that strength. So the app has been very helpful. What else? Oh, new thing. You see I'm wearing this shirt. You're probably like, who's Tab? This is actually Toxic Angel bikinis. I'm really excited that I am I've got a suit with them for 2024. Oh my gosh, I am super excited. I worked with Margaret at Toxic Angel Bikinis to design my suit. I'm super excited. I rented with the Toxic Angels suits from Center Stage Rentals this year. And I was very, very happy with the quality, and I was very happy to work with Amy because I wasn't sure what I wanted. And over the season, I did kind of figure out what I like and disliked. So I do recommend if you want to just rent a suit, I highly recommend going through Center Stage Rentals. I've just decided that I wanted to go ahead and have my own suit in 2024. So I've done that. And I'm really, really excited. I will get that suit closer, obviously, to my show in 2024, which I'm very excited about. I think I've gone through everything that's on my list, to be honest. So those are the big things that have been going on lately. I know it's like I said, it's been a long time, and I have been really, 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 really busy. And like I said, there's a really good reason why I've been busy, and it's not just because of work and kids stuff and all that stuff, because that is the thing too. My kids have had soccer tournaments and practices, and now we're getting into the holiday season where there's band concerts and programs and things like that. But yeah, I've got some things down in the pipeline, which I will share at a later date, hopefully sometime either in January or February of 2024, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have any questions, please comment down below and I will answer them as best as possible, maybe in my next video. Hopefully it won't be as long before I film again. But thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.